have food in our tummy. The life we was living ain't funny, but you cannot take nothing from me. Put that on my mama, my...
National Football League is on the air. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings.
Close my door, somebody. Close my door.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This will make it into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. To throw, it's Kaepernick. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Kaepernick now to throw. The toss here completed to Pittman. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 30.
On this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Kaepernick to throw. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is right down the middle. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the made field goal, here's Blankenship again. Taken about 7 yards deep, and Abdullah will not try to bring it out.
At their own 25-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
.33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29.
15-yard line.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
And they'll try the action on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And 2 at the 33-yard line.
On second down, it's Cook, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
2nd and 11 now. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball to make a big play. Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming.
3rd and less than a yard.
They'll try and run here with Swift. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
4-yard line.
Play action. Now Kaepernick. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Pittman with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
On the return, the Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
On second down now, it's Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Here's Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Willis. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job. Finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Kaepernick to throw on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. DeAndre Swift, the intended receiver that time. And it'll bring up third down.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The Colts on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No, Jonathan Taylor didn't get the yards you wanted on that carry. But I think this is central casting for him to be with the Colts. A big, strong, physical offensive line that goes with his running style. Elite speed, elite power. I think he'll catch more passes out of the backfield in the NFL than he did at Wisconsin. And yards after contact, that's his forte. The only thing he's got to improve on, taking care of the football. Put it on the ground way too often at Wisconsin. If he learns to hang on to it, he could be one of the surprises in the NFL.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Colts 24, Vikings nothing. Rodrigo Blankenship to kick off for Indianapolis.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Now this will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Kaepernick. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Trey Burton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts have got it on cruise control.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Colts 31, Vikings nothing. Rodrigo Blankenship to kick off for Indianapolis.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Now this will make it into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
It's in the game.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the 2nd half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone, and Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So
the Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. With DeForest Buckner using those big hands and getting in there and bringing him down for the sack.
Sack there by DeForest Buckner. Boy, was he big news around the draft in 2020 when the Colts traded their 13th overall pick for him. He absolutely solidifies their defensive front. Great interior pressure that they haven't been able to exhibit in recent seasons.
And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. For Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Blankenship out for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Rodrigo Blankenship to kick off for Indianapolis.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Now here's Johnson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. And down to a knee. That's one way to call a play.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Hey, check flag 33. Check flag 33. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up. Don't get nervous.
And down to a knee. Well, that's one option.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
4 down. Check. Mike, check 33. 33. I got you, son.
And now they'll take a knee here. And my partner now is speechless, and so am I.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". All day, just like that. Just like that.
Once again, it's Swift. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards, a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
The give to Taylor. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Jonathan Taylor.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Mike, check. 59.
Again, it's Taylor. And he stopped immediately there.
Jonathan Taylor.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Smith on the tackle.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back now in Indianapolis.
With the score.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Hey, we're good.
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins looking here for Smith downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Carry on the return. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. On 1st down, it's Taylor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Watch the run.
They'll run here with Swift. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is what every back in the league is supposed to do, exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Yeah, let's Mike, check. 59.
Now it's Swift. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Minnesota.
This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They picked up 5 yards last time, now they double it and get 10 here.
At the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Taylor. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Taylor, the ball carrier. He was brought down by Mike Hughes. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and...
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, 1st down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Tighten down. There you go. Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat.
And they will take a knee here. So first and second down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost